Hey everybody, welcome to the show. We have got a really cool show. We've got Hadley Thorne from Weird Realities podcast, Weird Realities Inc. Talking weird. She's the Weird Realities Empire. The Empress herself is with us, and that's pretty cool. She's going to help us the show, and we're going to be interviewing Mike Evans, an accomplished author, 35 books and counting. I don't know, man. That's a fantastic number. I mean, that is a lot of books. Best-selling, The Orphans and the Zombies on the Block. This one, we looked at them and these titles. That's one of the ones Hadley come on and help us with. With the zombie genre, because I'm fairly new to that one. But we got lucky enough to be able to bring him on the show, and so everybody sit back, grab that popcorn and a drink. Mike Evans is right now. Welcome to the Three Beards podcast. My name's Craig, along with Austin and Chris.
Passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century.
Let me out.
I'm afraid that is why you justice and honor in Massachusetts colony?
Shut up.
Mark, I missed you.
Oh my! I like how you just unmuted yourself and you yell "shut up" right as we're coming live.
You love that?
Yeah, that's fantastic. See this nice little microphone thing here? Use it.
It's not supposed to. Hey, it's supposed to mute everybody. You know how it works either way.
Except for you. All right. So hey, we're going to bring on Hadley Thorne. She is joining us. She from Weird Realities Empire. She's. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing
no
very.
See.
What's that?
Long time no see.
I know. It feels like it's been a couple weeks. Maybe a couple.
I haven't seen Austin. He wasn't here the last time I was on. I think he had a migraine.
Yeah, I was sick.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, so we're just kind of giving you slow, doses of us beers. We're not. Apparently, we're not going to give you the full 3 beers all at once. Yeah. So
y'all don't want me overloaded with the sexiness. I get it.
That's right. That's right. So
too much sexy on one screen. I get it.
Now, so he apologized for not having the full beard. He just has a goatee. But Mike Evans is with us. How are you, sir?
I'm good. So it's kind of like 2.5 beards.
Hey, that works. Like I said on the post, it's like we'll allow it. We allow it.
Thank you. It's hot right now where I live, so it's not time for a beard like your guys's. So
I don't. It's what do they say? Everybody's like, it's so hot, and I'm like, I don't have that problem. I don't have to rub sunscreen on my neck and stuff when I get the beard. So that's the excuse I'm going with. Might also be that my wife likes it.
Yeah. My wife's good with both, so I can kind of go either way on.
Well, that's really, doesn't that just come down to how it really is for everybody? Us, I want to thank everybody for watching again and tuning in. This is great. I've been looking forward to this. I've got 2 accomplished authors sitting here. You got Hadley Thorne, the Tapestry of World series and everything she's got going on between the podcasts, and then you. You're Stephen King light when it comes to the zombie thing. My God, 35 books. Jeez.
Yeah.
I was looking at the list when I was after we booked you, and I was just going through these things, and here's a list of the books. I'm like, okay, here we go. And I'm like, it just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah. I don't think that you can compare me as accomplished as Mike is. Mike's like way accomplished.
Yeah, I don't know. I did 1 year about killed me where I did a book a month.
God, that's
Wow.
that. What
Hey,
what
Jamie.
what got you got you interested in overall in the zombie genre for books? I mean, what was the catalyst that just got you just like I want to write about this?
Probably The Walking Dead. My wife and I watched it every Sunday night for the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 seasons. And then, I don't know. I know I'm quite a few seasons behind at this point, but you kind of get to a point where, you can write it or you can watch it, and one does better for me than the other. But I got really sick of watching The Walking Dead because I was like, you guys find the shittiest cars you could possibly get. There's a whole goddamn country you can go to. Negan doesn't have to be an issue. There's this place called California. You go to Florida. There's boats. You've got the slowest, stupidest zombies. Like you guys can't, you can't find a military base. So it kind of spawned for me to come up with my zombies, which I call the Turned, and they will give you nightmares. I love them. They can run faster than you. They can jump higher. They can rip your car door or your arm off. So
would you kind of compare them to like World War Z, that type of zombie?
I would compare it for the speed, but they're like genetically altered humans, basically. So they're just like I said, they're very strong, and they hunt in packs, smell for blood.
Oh wow!
They're everywhere, so like you never know where you're going to see one. Like if you're walking and there's like one up on a roof, or like on the rafters somewhere, or they're. And I will kill any character. So if you start reading it, go ahead, and it's fine. You can send me hate mail. I'm used to it.
You're George R.R. Martin on steroids. You're just like, do you like this person? Ooh, they're dead next.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah. I've only had a couple times where I wanted to kill someone, and I was like, I can't do it.
Well, Mike, I have a question. I heard that you kill your fans.
Yes, lots of them.
Can you explain that to me? Because I did not understand what the person was saying.
Oh, it's pretty easy. It's like every once in a while, if I get to a point where I don't want to come up with a new character's name, I'll post like a carnival wheel and say, this is a fair, this contest isn't. Whoever wants to get killed in a book, I just need to be able to pronounce your name in my head when I'm typing it. Because I like, if I can't type your name, you're going to have a really quick death. Like I can promise you, like you will not see Patricia's in my book. Can't type it, save my life. The autocorrect won't fucking fix it. So I'm like, I think I had one person and I was like, yep, she's dead. But anyway, so I've got like one of my beta readers, one of my 3 beta readers, Leslie Bryant. If you read any of my books, like kind of starting after probably book 3 or 4 in the Orphans, you will see her pop up in so many different books, or like Lisa Williams or like Karen Diesel. Like there's about a handful of people that I kind of go back and forth with. There's easily over 100, 150 people that are my readers that I have just gruesomely killed. So, and they love it.
I'm pitching this idea. There's 3 bearded guys that are in a survival shelter with, they're doing ham radio, and they get taken out by zombies. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Sure. It's funny.
Yeah. We had a couple people that are like Chassie. She's like, I volunteer as a tribute.
Yeah. I got the zombies come in and grab you by the face and rip your beards off before they
that's right.
rip your necks out.
Oh, yeah. You just let me know what books this in. Come on. Yeah. So you've already got a few people that, it's like Justin's like, yeah, Mike killed me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was in like my last book, Vacation from Hell. It's another zombie series. I've got 4 zombie series that I've done. So, but the Orphans and the Zombies on the Block are my main ones. So,
do your zombies swim in the ocean?
No.
Aha! Fuck
So,
you, Owen.
Yeah. They but sometimes if there's a current with them and they're trying to go after someone, they kind of swim, but it doesn't last long. So you could be fucked.
Damn it.
So,
So watch the currents. Just keep an eye on the currents.
There is no safety from the turned at all.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic. Now, is this the Turned? Are they in all of your books, or is this something that you've kind of over in a certain series that you've created them in?
That they're just in the orphans. So, and like I think I'm probably a day, maybe 2 days away from finishing Orphans 10. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, and I have all those books, which will make all authors feel bad, which I love doing. Just kidding. But so all those books have been written since basically 2014.
Wow.
So that was when I put out Orphans 1, which was my second book. And then, but it was my first real release, like where I did it correctly and knew what I was doing, or had it. Sorry, you never know what you're doing as an author. Had an idea what I thought I should do.
Jesus.
So
you split him in half from head to toe. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny.
And I'm going to butcher it here. I think it's Aurelio, Rico Lopez. Thanks for watching. From the Philippines. That's fantastic. And somebody watched something from the. So thanks for watching.
You guys got a good reach.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that, and it's one of those like I was really looking forward to, and that's kind of that's part I really wanted Hadley on because she's going to be able to help me with these aspects, especially when it comes to the book side because I'm more of the fanboy. It's just like watching. It's like you said you have the Walking Dead. I don't want to spoil. There's spoiler alert for anybody that there's an author. He said he wrote a book a couple years ago where it dealt with a stranded nuclear sub.
I saw that.
And he said that The Walking Dead used that this season. Is it almost, almost literally, like he said, I'm not saying they ripped me off, but that's exactly what I wrote about.
That hurt.
And so, this is what and that was kind of along those lines that I wanted to ask you. Have you found through watching some of these series, watching a lot of the popular shows, how they really are missing the boat on certain things where it's just like, what, like you said, why aren't you going to a military base? Why aren't you going to where it's, so what have you found? It's like the glaring thing where you're just like, oh my God.
Well, I mean, the Walking Dead, I was like, how many seasons did it take them to figure out that these zombies seem to notice when you shoot a gun off, and they should like you just keep shooting guns and it's miraculous that the zombies just keep coming. It's almost like they can hear the gunfire echoing, forever, or you could just be quiet and go out in the country and you'd probably never see a zombie. Like, the farm they had was pretty sweet, minus the stockpile of zombies in the barn. Spoiler alert. So, like when they were looking for God damn it, whatever the little girl's name was that got lost, Carol's daughter. So like just stuff like that. And then like I was saying earlier, like picking the crappiest cars. Like, do you think there's any car lots that have some new cars sitting on them? Go get a brand new F-250 or, an RV within a year old versus 25 years old.
Well, it's like the show Black. I'm sure you guys have watched Black Summer.
Yes, I watched season 1. I haven't done season 2.
Yeah, watch season 1. I call him one of the most inept characters. That can't ever. Everything goes wrong. He was in the fire station. He's trying to. That was the first thing I said. Is like, all these vehicles are fueled. Everybody's looking for the thing. People that know firefighters keep their trucks fueled. They're not going to be. So here's these brand new trucks just sitting there, and nobody fires them up. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? These things are perfectly, accident. You got everything on there. It's those type of ones. And then before we get too long, you've got some.
Ollie, we have those shirts.
Oh, do you?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it says Mike Evans killed me in a book, and I liked it. And then it's got a bunch of books names on the back.
That's awesome.
I've also got one that's just an indie author killed me.
Now, can you get that on your site?
It's on my Teespring page. I can here. Let me see if I.
If that comes to you, like I said, we'll definitely post it because I just saw that. It's like, that's a fantastic, merchandise idea is to have those. Mike told me,
I love chassis though. That's great.
Yeah. So like this shirt that I've got on is like my Zombies on the Block one, but like originally my wife made me. I didn't do shows like book cons or anything. I'm a horrible talker, salesperson in person, So, or at least I feel like I am. But anyway, so I was like, I'm going to be the loudest SOB there when I do it. So I got an orange orphan shirt and then like a ugly ass lime green one. And when I put it up on Teespring, like everybody started buying. So there's like, see random pictures of people wearing the orphans orange, like all over the place, which is always kind of cool. So that was kind of when I started making what they would say swag. So stuff.
Yeah, there's
like
some of the pictures
That's
from
cool.
here.
Yeah, that guy was freaking good. He that was down in Kansas City. He did a really good job.
Yeah, it's really, I said just for everybody to see. I mean, here's just a sampling of all the books. I mean, it's like, God.
Mike, do you write anything other than zombies?
Yeah, so like the Uninvited on that page, that's a 4-book series. It is the most gruesome, gory thing good chance that you'll read. So my friend Christy that had passed away, like I had a month free in between books and I was very zombied out. And I was like, I kind of got an idea for like a old school, like 1980s slasher serial killer book. And her only response was just put me in it and kill us. So like, I was like done. So it was like one of those books where you're like, how many people can they kill? And it's like, well, we're not out of characters yet. So anyway, then that series just gets like more and more brutal. I've got an assassin series, which is Gabriel. I
think I'll bring that up here.
Gabriel's a pretty fun time. He's an assassin. He used to work for the government. He got sick of the politics and crap and left. And they basically kind of disbanded having that type of person working for them, like all the guys. So when like terrorists come to America, he is basically chosen to be the hero that he has no interest in being. So, and he's kind of an interesting assassin because he's kind of like, he's got his code where, no women, no children. So if a guy tries to hire him to kill his family, he comes after and like in his spare time, he kills them. So,
oh, wow.
Like, yeah.
That's cool.
So, and it's like in pretty painfully gruesome ways. So, and then if you're into demonic stuff, The Demons Beware, it's set in, I think it's like New York in the 60s. It's pretty fun, old school demons with a few twists in there that you're not going to be used to. So, but I'm not real scared of trying different genres. So I just enjoy writing.
What's your favorite? Do you have a particular one that's your favorite? I mean, I know that you do a lot of zombie stuff, but
yeah, I mean, I really do enjoy the zombie stuff. I like the serial killer stuff is pretty fun though. The Uninvited and like Voices in My Head, that's a pretty good time. But I do like action adventure books. I haven't really done a ton of those outside of like Gabriel and Buried were kind of my two. Well, Gabriel's got 3 books in the series. And then Buried is a standalone. It's also was my first book I wrote. So it's about a police officer who wakes up in a coffin and gets a phone call. And it's the guy that had kidnapped his son saying, if you want to see your son in something other than pieces, you need to rob these banks and give me the money. So, cool. And it's got a guy in it named Earl, who is basically like, I want to say like Joe Dirt or who's from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Crap. You know what I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking. Yeah, it's
Tater Salad.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Or Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah.
Yep,
so it's just like him. So, and he was actually based off of a guy at a shooting range that just really annoyed the shit out of me. So I was like, and he's like, he's in Vacation from Hell. He's in another series. So it's, he just kind of keeps popping up because he's just so much fun. Like if you can imagine someone saying the wrong thing at the wrong time or the wrong word for the wrong meaning, like that is Earl, like 100%. So, but I really don't have anything that I don't try and try and write. So the zombies has kind of kept me busy the last 2 years, I think it's been. So
Now,
so
do you have you ever thought about the sci-fi genre?
yeah, I have. I haven't really done anything with it, obviously, but I mean, I've thought about every genre. I kind of have like an action series that is kind of like a squirrel that won't leave me alone. So I might end up doing that, but we'll see. It's still kind of up in the air. So
Do you read any other authors in the middle of your
nope.
process?
Nope. I'm the author that does not read. All I want to do is write. If I could write a good, clean first draft, I would just send it straight off to my beta readers. But I have to go back through and reread it because I've always got like a book that I'm writing. I got a book at the editors. I got a book coming back from an editor that I'm in the process usually of, doing beta, which for people that don't know, beta readers are outstanding, huge-hearted people that read your books and help you find the mistakes. So I usually have like 3 projects going at once. So I really don't read too much. I started a book a couple weeks ago and I think I got about 12% in, and then I got busy with Orphans 10. So yeah. So, and then I was going to mention, it's kind of a funny story for the orphans is to show the amount of research that I do to see how much there is in a genre. When I started Orphans, I had no clue it was a genre. I was like, I'm going to write a zombie book. I was like, and people will like it. Sorry. If they like zombies. And then I finish it, 100,000 words later. Sorry, damn it.
No, you're good.
There we go. Hairball. Anyway, so I finished it and then I got online, started looking in, Facebook. I found Zombie Book of the Month Club. I'd never heard of Tufo, never heard of Chesser, I'd never heard of any of those guys. And I was like, holy shit, there are like thousands and thousands of books in this genre. So it always made me laugh where they're like, how much research do you do? I'm like, fuck, none. Like if it's an idea that I like, I just kind of, go for it. So.
And I was looking at a few of the reviews too, and and it seemed to be a consistent theme, especially on your Orphans one. They really liked the way that you laid this out in such a realistic fashion. Like this is how this would, really could occur, occur if this happened.
Yeah.
Where you're sitting there doing your normal daily activities and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Right outside your window.
Yeah. Well, like half the fun of the Orphans is it takes place in like current day. And then I don't know, it was like 3 or 4 years ago. So there's basically 2 apocalypses, one getting ready to happen and then one that is happening at the same time. So it's like, it's one of those things where when you're reading it, the shit's going to hit the fan. And when it hits it, it will be spread everywhere. But the people in current time have no clue. So I don't want to give too many teasers away because there's quite a few people who probably haven't read it. So please read it.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, obviously start at book 1, work your way up, by the time you're done with those, he's going to have 10 out. So this is, this is, God, that still just amazes me. I mean, it's just, you got like Joey Medea, he's watching too. So he's one of those, it's like, it seems like he just keeps cranking out books like right and left. And then, I'm looking, like you, and then it's just, see this, and it just amazes me. I mean, especially that book a month for a year. Yeah. I'm like, that is just, oh my God.
I think I got 12 out. I might have actually got 13 because I had a kid's book I did because my kids were too young at the time to read my books. So I wrote a kid's book.
Are they even old enough to read your books now?
Yeah. I have a 12-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old son. It's funny because he's read almost, I think, 7 or 8 of he's read 7 of the Orphans books. And Jake is my son, and my daughter Lily is 12. She's read all 9 that are released. The 10th Zombie on the Block isn't out yet, but she's read all those, and she loves it because she's one of the characters. So, yeah,
that's awesome.
She loves finding mistakes that I missed and showing me.
So you're grooming an editor. That's pretty cool. You're gonna have your own in-house editor.
I think I'm gonna have a author, because I was telling her about the new what's it called, Vella program on Amazon, where you can do like smaller stories. And because I always tell her, I'm like, hey, you need to do 35, 40,000 words for it to be, a big book, a book at kind of at minimum. And then I told her on this, you only had to do a couple K. And she's like, she always has ideas for like books about like Greece. Like she loves the gods and stuff and whatnot.
That's awesome.
So she has so many fucking details on it. I'm just, okay. Like, I don't know what to tell you, honey. That sounds awesome.
Well, for 36 books, where do you get the ideas for your characters?
Zombies on the Block was, I will address that. Holly said they wrote short stories. They did, both kids. I was like, I bribed them. I was like, I'll give you X amount for each if you guys write a short story. And I put them at the beginning. I think I put them at the end of the book. So that way I kind of to make them write. And then my son, who is 100% my son, was he's because they always thought they were looking at theirs and they're like, so you were never like a #1 bestseller before Zombies on the Block regularly, so does that mean we get a raise? I was like, no, you don't get a raise. It's like little shits. So sorry.
Awesome.
But what was the question? I get sidetracked.
Your characters with 36 books. I mean, where are you pulling your characters from? Do you get like inspiration from people you know, or TV, or just that crazy?
People that I know typically. I have a rule where I will never. Like a lot of authors are like, I'm going to kill you in the book if I don't like you. And I'm like, I'm not going to immortalize you in a damn book if I don't like you. Because then I got to see your fucking name every time I'm doing something with the book. So I only put people I like. And just because I like you, as previously had stated earlier, doesn't mean I won't viciously murder you in the book. So it is what it is. But as far as like the characters, the Zombies on the Block has been the easiest because pretty much 90% or 95% of every character is one of my neighbors on my block. So like I pretty much spent like one summer going around finding out what their job was, asking them about it, asking them what they do and what time they go to work or where the job's at. And then I basically made the entire Zombies on the Block based around that. So it's literally my name. It's Zombies on the Block. It's my whole neighborhood. And I'm just fucking terrorizing everybody. Awesome. So
that is cool.
So
now I was gonna, one of my pet peeves, especially like shows, books, are the ones that don't address how it starts.
Yeah.
And so I haven't read the Orphans one yet. Where do you address that? In a fashion like how it can, because that's one of the things that for me that's like critical. It's like the scientific thing. I can't shut that off. I'm like, how did this occur?
In detail with the Orphans, it's basically like a love story gone wrong. Frank Fox is one of the main characters in book 1, and he falls in love with his son's crush's mom, which just leads to serious amounts of shit between the two of them, because you never want your girlfriend to potentially be your sister, because it's not hot. But anyway, so he proposes to her. She has to tell him that she's got like stage 3 cancer. So back to what I was saying earlier about the second apocalypse happening at the same time. He's like, I've got this thing. He's a scientist. He's like, I was working on it in the army when I left. I might be able to modify it to cure you. He's like, and that was like the next 6 months of his life or something. That's all he did. So that's kind of the science, is like he's trying to reproduce what he had helped with in the army, and then the world goes to hell in a handbag.
Nice.
So it's one of those books, like book 1, if you're just patient, like it just keeps getting like faster and faster and faster, and then it doesn't slow down for 9 books. Like you're on a roller coaster ride.
Well, the way you described that one, I really like that idea of you have something that's stalking you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the one like The Walking Dead where it's just, oh yeah, here they come. Get the sticks ready. Got the one that's up on the roof behind, out of the movies that you're like,
Yep.
seriously, and you know it's going to jump.
Yep.
That's
or
cool.
like some like drool come down on your shoulder, and like you look up and you see the turn with, just not looking happy. So
That's awesome.
so it's fun. The Orphans was kind of my baby. It was the one that took off and kind of made me realize it was actually a chance to do it. So it was pretty cool. So
yeah, and so where without a lot of people don't like talking about how. I mean, where are you at like for book numbers like sold?
oh fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't even guess. I was looking up this morning. I think Orphans 1 was over 10K, but that doesn't count. Like there's you can sell your book on Amazon. You can also do Kindle Unlimited. So Kindle Unlimited, you get paid page per read. So it's like 0.0042 cents per page. But when you have 1 million pages read for one book, it adds up. So,
We've talked to a couple of people that they actually they really like that thing too. Where you're paid per page read, and so
yeah.
That was one of those curious where if you knew, just like but like I said, there's a lot of people they kind of look at it self-glossing when you're like, I've sold 1 million copies of all my book, and they're like, I don't like to brag about myself.
Yeah, I really don't know, but I would easily guess over 50K just for the book numbers, if I had to guess. And that's not counting any of the pages read, because like back in the day, the pages read, they screwed the system where you had to like read 20% of the book before they pay you for it on Kindle Unlimited. So that meant somebody with like a 20-page book got paid a hell of a lot faster than like me with a 360-page book. So when they switched it, that's when we started seeing money come in.
I was looking at that in Amazon. Yeah. And I was like, so the Orphans, the first book was published June 3rd, 2014.
Yep.
And that's still listed at number 11 in teen and young adult zombie ebooks.
Yes.
I mean,
pretty good for an old book.
Yeah, I mean that's especially in this genre where you have so many people that are putting out books for you to be.
Yeah, I mean you could scroll down through like the zombie for the teen. There's usually between 15 and 20 of them are in the top 100 for the zombie books of mine. So because it only goes up to 100. After that, it only has 2 pages on Amazon for it.
Hey, Jack.
Yep. Sorry I'm late. Hello. Thanks for watching. You got a lot of people tuning in for you. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I invited a lot of people, and David Simpson. Yeah, it's like 400 or 500 is whatever it let me do. I was gonna say David Simpson. Yeah, I totally killed him in a book. It was pretty awesome. I didn't depict him as a trucker. I should have, but I kind of made him a skeezy lawyer. And he was in The Uninvited, The Unleashing, which is the 4th book, and it's pretty violent. So I mean, they're all violent, but they just get worse and worse. But I'm pretty sure he killed me back, so which is fine.
Yeah, Craig, you should get David Simpson on your show. He's awesome.
Oh,
and he has driven in the Cannonball Run a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's got like a Mustang zombie car, or at least he did. I don't know if he still does.
He does. He had it on a video of it the other day. It's really nice.
All right, well, I wrote that down. So yeah, I would check into him.
I'll give him the plug. Hadley, what's his series? It's Zombie Road, or
the Zombie Road series, and they are making it into a TV show or a movie.
Are they?
Yeah,
nice.
They're yeah.
Is there,
he had a bad death.
Yeah, is there any potential like for the Orphans to? Because I mean, the way it sounds,
I wouldn't say no.
Yeah,
much as I love my day job.
Yeah, I think that's maybe. So you said you have a hard time, doing it yourself. That seems like one to really pitch, because just from not having read it and the way you've described it, I'm really interested in getting book 1, and get started, adding that to the stack of books to, get going on here, just because you're with the turned. I mean, the way you've just created that zombie is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. And I mean, like the one thing that I try to strive for, like in all the books, is I hate it when I watch a movie and like someone keeps almost dying. I'm just like, just fucking kill him. Like I don't care. Like I have no emotional investment in this person's life at all. That usually means I don't want to finish the book. But like with like the orphans, everyone's like, I can't believe you killed him or her or them or that. I'm like, they can't all live. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like if you hang out with Sean Fox, there's a good chance shit's going to go down and you're not going to be one of the people coming back. So he's like, you know, if you go with Rick, it's from the Walking Dead, you might not come back. He probably will, but
Yeah,
you're a supporting character. Sorry.
Red shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Justin, like I agree. I said, you know, the Orphans needs to be a TV series. I mean, that's from the
Agreed.
way you've described it from this show. I don't see why that wouldn't be a successful series. I mean, Netflix, Amazon. I mean, you guys listen. You know,
Yeah.
it's,
I think Netflix would be awesome, or the Sci-Fi Channel even. Maybe.
well, Amazon Prime has been really pumping money into their content.
Yeah, they've got some good shows.
I mean, did you see the Tomorrow War by any chance?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've seen
That
it
one-
twice.
That one was for anybody, you know, I said not zombie related, but I mean, it was, you know, where we're just talking about Amazon putting money into stuff.
Yeah.
That movie was probably one of the best like traditional studio science fiction movies I've seen.
Yeah, it
That
was good.
movie was everything that I wanted Army of the Dead to be that it wasn't.
I haven't seen that one yet. Either of those movies.
I did enjoy Army of the Dead. It wasn't amazing, but and I don't want to give a spoiler because there's probably people who haven't seen it. But there was like one I want to talk about it, but I don't want to be the guy that did that. So there was one thing that was like it's not like it's stereotypical 1980s where like you know there's one person that always dies first and they get to live to be the end. So when you get to see it, you'll be like, oh shit, he's right. So
Yep.
so
A
that's
little
all I'll
side-
say.
A little sidetrack. Have you guys seen? I think it's Vivarium with Jesse Eisenberg. I think it is. It's a weird fucking movie.
yeah. Was that where he's like in a house?
Yeah, man. It's,
That house
it's,
with
it's
the
still
baby?
fucking. It's messing me up, man. I'm trying to figure it out still.
Yeah, it's a weird movie. Like definitely.
You gotta watch it, Craig.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to. And then, well, I'm thinking. It just dawned on me. Speaking of like the talking weird that you guys are you guys going to talk Freddy Krueger this Friday? This Friday
Yes.
the 13th.
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say if you're not, you guys are missing an opportunity. It's Friday the 13th. You got to talk about Freddy Krueger movies.
Well,
That's
you
right.
know
Oh,
that
it is.
it's Jason.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like you got to talk
But
Freddy
one of
Krueger.
the
you gotta-
movies we're doing is Freddy versus Jason.
Yep, there you go. So it's like, you know, you got Friday the 13th. I mean, it's you got, you know, it's like you're gonna have to start doing, you know, you're gonna have to do the Nightmare on Elm Street. You're gonna have to start getting all these things. I'm like, please tell me you're talking slasher movies on Friday the 13th, please.
No, we're doing we're counting down every week till Halloween, so we're doing nothing but horror movies.
Nice.
We're actually
Right.
talking about getting you guys on one week and doing the Ghostbusters.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's my movie.
Yep.
It's not the new one. I did not like the remake.
With the girls in it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Because
But
they
it-
have another one, don't they? Coming
yeah.
out?
They're kind of trying to reboot it with I think it's Relatives.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, so we'll see. Like I said, I'm hoping. I mean, if you know Paul Rudd, you know, with the marshmallows, that looks pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't see how you can go wrong having Paul Rudd in it though.
No,
I
you know,
love that guy.
they've
He's
done
great.
studies. You know, 60% of the time it works every time.
Yeah. So he's pretty awesome.
I'm not gonna do that, Alan.
What's that? What did you say? So you guys, 11 time of monsters.
They gave me a hard time. We did Bigfoot movies last week because we were supposed to have D.A. Roberts on. He's a big cryptid writer. And Lauren was supposed to come on from Nightcaller's Bigfoot Radio. So we watched 3 Bigfoot movies, and we were the most unpassionate people you've ever heard talk about movies. It was horrible. But Love in the Time of Monsters was my recommendation, which it was a really, really bad, cheesy movie. So
Yeah, this go kind of so like thing. What for you? Like we'll go with this. One of the questions, like pet peeves. What is your pet peeve when you see something in the zombie genre? Like think you see people constantly doing. You see something where you're just like stop.
Preppers.
Preppers.
Almost always preppers. Like you know, like make it a challenge. Like, oh, I've got this, you know, 9 years worth of food and a million rounds of ammo, and I got a airtight basement or an underground tank, the underground fallout shelter, that's like radioactive proof, and it's got a water filtration system, and it's like a condo underground. It's like, I like to, if something's going too well, I like to destroy whatever that is. Like if I got stuck in a book, like it was like they had to go get medicine for a guy. I was like, okay, now they're there. And I was like, well, that was easy. And then I was like, oh, now they're going to drive back. I'm like, that's fucking boring. So I was like, let's blow the van up. Like, now what are you going to do? So, piss on their parade pretty much.
I just picture Mike writing it. Fuck you, what are you going to do now? And then you have to figure out what they're going to do next. Like,
yeah, I do. And then I'm like, and I've done that where I'm like, I just wrote myself into a little bit of an issue, but I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, CA hoax is kind of, this is one of mine, like Black Summer, we just did it, when they're getting to the stadium. That scene where I can't think of the character's name, it's the Japanese lady. She's firing that compact Uzi, and that thing never runs out of bullets. She's just like, just blow it. It's just like, you gonna change the clip because you just ran out of ammo. You gonna change the clip? Nope.
I'm trying to find that page. Yeah, that's definitely one of them for sure. Is the endless ammo, like a 6-shooter that has 125 bullets.
Yeah, they're just constantly firing. You're like, you're gonna have to reload here at some point. I mean,
do the math.
What gets me is knowing nature never calls.
Yeah.
Nature never calls in the zombie apocalypse.
No, damn it. Sorry, the Zombieland, not Tallahassee. Jesse Eisenberg. Like, that's his thing. He's got like irritable bowel syndrome. Mm-hmm. Like, he's the only one. Like, he has to shit. But I agree. I think that's about it.
Classic.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's one of those things I think is pretty cool about directors and writers and stuff, when they catch onto those things and then they emphasize it, because then it's like what we're talking about. We're like, oh, that's awesome. I mean, I think it would be like a character that's constantly changing the mags, like constantly reloading. That'd be one of those where it's the far extreme. All of us would see it.
Yeah, I mean, do a fucking John Wick zombie style movie. That would be freaking amazing.
Well, Mike, what's your favorite zombie movie?
I'm not giving you one. So I really like I can't do it. I will. No, I was gonna give you 2. I just can't count. No, I'm kidding. So Zombieland 1, not 2. Love Zombieland. It was the first zombie movie I let my son Jake watch, and to this day, anytime something has coconut in it, he's like, it's the consistency, not the taste. The Dawn of the Dead remake with Ving Rhames, where they're at the mall. Fucking love that one. It's one of my favorites. If I had to pick one, it would probably be that one. But I think the first one would be, or the last one would be the Train to Busan. I just finally watched it. I'm the guy that waited to be the last one to see it, but I fucking hate subtitles. Like, I don't want to read. I want to hear the words and watch the zombie violence.
Oh, you just can't. You're not smart enough to read. No, I want to fucking watch the movie.
Yeah, I can't even watch the movie. I want to read. I'll pick up a fucking book.
I actually, maybe it's because I like kung fu movies.
Yeah.
Oh, Craig, I knew I liked you. I'm a big martial arts movie fan.
Yeah, I love kung fu, and just there's something about. I mean, who doesn't like the fact that the mouth is going, and like, I will fight you.
Yeah.
You're like, I love it. It's just something about the subtitles. It's just, the old Bruce Lee movies where, his English wasn't good enough. So they had to have the Americanized, I will take you out.
Well, I mean, they got through the Terminator with only letting Arnold talk like 2 times,
It's funny you say that. That's just saying it. Did you know the little thing about the director is they had to dub it in German with a whole nother voice, because his accent is considered it's kind of like a Southern, like the drawl. It's what it basically, it's that type of thing. It's like, it's considered a commoner's version, and it wouldn't work in Germany. People wouldn't take it seriously. Of having like a country is like a country hick type. It's really crazy.
I did not know that at all. I just knew that he didn't speak very much English.
Yep. So that is like, so when it's in the German, they actually use somebody else's voice because they couldn't. Arnold's accent wouldn't be taken seriously.
That's pretty funny, actually. Nice.
So those were your favorites. What zombie movie do you think is totally overrated? Do you just not like?
Damn it. I don't know. I don't want to hate on any zombie movies. They don't get enough credit. There's a couple Romero ones. I can't think of the name of it, but like the army has shut down this town. I think it has Ving Rhames in it too. Damn it. Oh, sorry. 28 weeks later and 28 days later. Those are fucking great too.
Yeah.
Real bad that I forgot those. So I guess 5.
I thought you were those as the ones you hated. I'm like, no, I thought those were pretty good.
No, those are fantastic.
I like the bird dropping blood in the guy's eye.
Yep. That's perfect, right? And you care about the guy. What's that?
I'm a Legend.
I'm Legend.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty.
I was trying to think of the movie for a second. It was because the zombies were too like fake. Or too overdone. They don't come out in daylight. You solve that problem.
They're vampires. I thought they were vampires. Were they zombies?
They were. I think they were supposed to be zombies.
I don't know. It was weird.
I don't know. And it's like it's hard to be a one-man cast too. Like that didn't help.
The dog was in there.
I mean, you guys, maybe you two might have a different take on it, but I thought from World War Z, that one actor needed to be given an award for his performance in the lab.
Brad Pitt?
When Brad Pitt was in the lab, he had the zombie that was going around, and he was doing the whole.
Yeah, that was so
with his teeth. I mean, that was I thought was a really good performance by somebody, doing a zombie.
Yeah, that's like the frosting on the cake when they've got like the clicking of the teeth, they're like the sniffing, like crap like that. That's terrifying. And it's awesome.
So, they're doing a Romero series, I think, on Sci-Fi. That should be pretty interesting. Yeah, it's supposed to come out sometime soon. I'm sure one of your listeners can look it up, but
sure.
I don't know the details. But yes, I saw the. No. Did you do a zombie play? No. Sorry.
No. That's one. Yeah, because it's kind of like those things. You got Zombieland. I mean, who didn't like the Bill Murray? I mean, that was like one of the most. I mean that was a cool one. I was wanted to see. I was hoping that they would figure out some way to do. Something in the sequel.
Yep.
To work, but I think it was one of those. It's like they try too hard to capture the magic they had in the first movie, and then the sequel always just has this, has a letdown factor.
Mm-hmm. I didn't care for the second Zombieland. It wasn't bad, but if you're gonna take that long with a sequel, let's make it a little better.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, you brought up Bill Murray, his zombie movie. I didn't like that one.
That was so disappointing. That was, and it had such a good cast, but it was just very disappointing.
Yep.
Agreed. So that was the one I'll shit on. I'll shit on that one. That's fine. Bill Murray's got enough money. He's doing just fine.
Is that the?
Yep. So
that's his gear.
There's some cool looking swag you got there, Mike.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because my wife at one point had made me a shirt with like the Gabriel cover where she ironed it on. She's got like the transfer sheet, and it either got too old or I got too fat, probably too fat. And I gave it to my daughter has most of her nighttime t-shirts are like the Orphans, Gabriel, my old Metallica shirts, my old Rolling Stone shirts. Like she likes my old swag shirts or rock and roll shirts. And I had taken a picture of her when she was much littler wearing that, and someone was like, "Wait, is that available?" And I was like, "Well, it can be." So I was like, "What? Do you want to buy it?" I was like, "So
yeah." So that's
I want this as a tattoo, man. That's fucking awesome.
so. How do you awesome? Tell everybody where to go for that.
Yeah, it's right here.
You showed up there. So there you go.
Took me a minute to find it because I've got like 3 pages on there because there's some that I retired for like pages. So
yeah, it's let's see. Now, Hadley, did you have another question?
Not right now. I see Mark Eady does. He's got a good one.
There's no. Sorry, no. There's millions of zombies. That's about it. I don't know biblically what number there were. Mine would be scarier though. So no, that's I'm actually. I said, I'm gonna. If I wanted, can I get an autographed copy? Yeah. Yeah.
What's the best way to do that? Just contact you directly, or?
Yeah. So like, pretty much once a month or every 45 days when I release, I'll post something on my page, like in my fan club as well. Just if you see that, if there's an older book you want, I just toss it on the order. That way I don't have. That way I don't, because I can get it at any time. But like, if I can order, 30 or 50 books at once, then I'm only going to charge you for shipping to you, not the shipping to get it to me and then shipping to get it to you. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mentioned on our last show with the other author, Tina Ray. Have you done book plates before?
Is that just where like you have an autograph on it?
Yeah, it's basically just you take the card, you would autograph it. It's a sticker, and so what you do is you mail it, and so I can peel that off and I can stick that inside the book.
I have not. I've heard of people doing it.
And that's one of those. So for the people that can't actually be in person signing and doing stuff, I you can get the book plates.
Yeah. I've shipped them everywhere.
I am not doing 20 books in Vegas, but 1 year, sometime, yes. Mike, are you doing 20 books to Vegas? No.
If I go to Vegas, it's going to be to drink and hang out with my wife.
What's the 20 books in Vegas?
It's a marketing. What is that? Right? Is that what you would call it? Like a marketing?
Yeah, it looks like a marketing. It's 20 authors. Books to 50K. It helps people figure out how to get their
commercialize their books.
Yeah.
Because so basically the rule is if you've written 20 books, you should be making $50,000 off them a year. I think isn't that the premise?
Yes.
Okay.
That's at least how I understood it. I'm just now getting familiar with this stuff. So I will mention that Mike Evans is back on Horror Writers Inc. as a featured author, and our friend Joey Medea has just been made a author. It'll be announced officially next week.
Nice. Yes, I rejoined today, actually, on it. So I'd been out for a little bit, trying to get shit done, because sometimes if you get too busy doing things on Facebook, the books kind of don't suffer, but they take longer to get done. And then the inner boss in the back of my head's like, you're writing slow as fuck. You need to hurry up. So like, you got another book you got to write.
Says the guy that did 13 in a year.
I know, right?
So, right. That's
I'm so slow. I'm like, good Lord, I have trouble writing a page.
So I always say that, people are like, well, I can't believe you do that. I'm like, well, I do that, but I'm still working a full-time job and, co-parenting with my wife for 2 kids and whatnot. So
you're not right. I thought you were writing full-time now. Are you not?
I put in 40 hours a week, but no. I still have a day job. I'm a business automation specialist. So I automate stuff and so I've been there like 17 years. So
now, do you have any meet and greets or anything that you have up and coming, what you're planning?
I don't have any planned. Coronavirus has kind of put a little halt on any, like a lot of the shows I used to go. I've been to Kansas City a few times for shows. I think it's Planet Comic-Con. I went down there and sold books and whatnot. But as far as like meet and greets, I've met quite a few of my readers, if they make it to Iowa, I'm almost always up to go out and have a beer. I had one guy that was in charge of my fan club at one time, John Spielman, and he came from Germany. He was going to visit family, and he drove, I don't know, was it from Wisconsin down to Iowa, and we hung out for 2 or 3 days. Took him on an orphans tour because it all takes place in Iowa, and showed him like all the sites of where everything took place, and went to the restaurant that the guys went to and buried, and because it's all real places. So if like I said, if somebody would like to meet, great. But yeah, I don't have any huge meet and greets. I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody that would like to meet me, but I don't try to get cocky and assume that anybody cares. I just keep putting butts out.
Yeah, there's I've kind of brought it up to a few people. My wife showed me there's Outlander. She watches the Outlander series, and the author Diana Gabaldon, she has, it's like a home base. She's out of Arizona, so she uses this book store called the Poison Pen, and she'll go there and she'll sign books for them to ship out. And I've actually purchased a couple of those for my wife that she's signed. And so I've asked, like, have you thought about doing that with like a local bookstore in your area, to where you would go down there, you'd sign, you could do that stuff, and then people could buy that personal signed book from that bookstore that you basically have adopted as your home base?
Yeah, there's I live in Ankeny, Iowa. Most people, if they don't live in Ankeny, call it like Anarchy, so, which we love.
Awesome.
But there's a bookstore called Wall of Books, and he bought a few of the Orphans and a few of Zombies on the Block from me, and signed them. So I don't know if he still has them. But yeah, if somebody wanted to do something like that, I would totally be down to do it. Most of my book sales, I kind of have a pretty faithful readership or following of people that get every book. Like I just put that this book's coming out this date, and I check Gmail, and I already have my PayPal from the person. So it's like, you just like, oh, okay, Cindy wants one. No,
that's awesome. It's always cool to have those diehard fans.
Yeah, so I'm pretty personal with my readers and whatnot.
Well, and I don't know that you know this, Mike, but you're very well thought of in the indie author community as someone who will go out of their way to help new writers.
Yeah, I don't know that, but I have mentored quite a few people over the years, and I don't ever claim to know everything, but I mean, when you're first starting off, you don't know shit. I mean, there's so much stuff to learn, and you're like, or someone's like, oh, I'm going to get a pre-made cover, and doesn't have anything to do with what the book's about, or, I'm going to edit it myself, or, hey, I got 3 friends that are going to edit it for me. And I'm like, that's a really good, horrible idea. Like, don't do that. Pay for it. Like, if you're not an artist, don't do your cover. If you're not an editor, don't edit it. If you are an editor, still pay to get it edited, because you're going to be biased against changing stuff, because you'll be like, this is the best thing ever. Or you're like, if you're a real author like me, you're like, this is a fucking piece of shit. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, you're a total hack. And then you get done and you're like, okay, it's not so bad. So
isn't that how it kind of it's you're hardest on yourself, especially your own work? I mean, I've had people say like, I love that drawing, and I'm like, I think it looks terrible. Like, I'll do the promos for like the show, and I think those are so pedestrian when I get done with it. I'm like, and then I'll get somebody like, oh, thank you for doing this. This is amazing. And I'm like, you actually like that? I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, thank you.
Yeah. It's I always feel like it's like, if you, how do you say it? Like, if you think it's amazing, you're probably not looking at it hard enough. So, and I like to always just think that, like, they're always like, well, you wrote, all the, like what you're saying, like 13 books in a year or whatever. And I'm just like, that was, that many years ago. Once your book comes out, it's just like, you're only as good as your last meal. So now you need to do something new. Or like, for like a chef, like, or a barber, you're only as good as your last haircut. It's like, all your accomplishments are in the past. Now you need to look at the next one and, not ride the coattails of your other work.
You got your fans all planning a road trip to come up and see you.
Yeah, come on up. We'll go to the garage at Ankeny. They got like 40 beers on tap. It's fantastic.
All I've got is Annie Key now in my head.
Yep.
Thanks to him. Yeah. But yeah, as you're driving by from South Florida, hopefully you're not, like I said, just wave as you're going through Central Florida because that's where we're located. So
yeah.
Curious to the vehicle.
She has. Or Des Moines is another one.
Oh yes, Des Moines. Yeah, I was from Oregon, so it was so you have a lot of people that it's usually Oregon.
Yeah.
Craig,
or
is it? What is Kissimmee, Craig?
What a lot of people up there call it Kissimmee.
Yeah, it's not fucking Kissimmee.
It is Kissimmee. It's just you get that, but yeah, like I grew up in the Willamette Valley. Well, a lot of people call it Willamette. You see, like Willamette, and you're like, no, that's not correct at all. Yeah. So it's kind of Des Moines. That's pretty cool. Yes.
So
Des Moines.
I had a buddy from Arkansas when I was growing up in high school, and I'd always called Arkansas, and he'd get so pissed. So awesome. Of course, like you're gonna get that from a teenager, though. So.
Well, that's always been the thing. It's Kansas, and then it's Arkansas. I mean, you're like, wait a minute. Shouldn't it be? It's like you said, like a lot of people. Shouldn't it be Arkansas? I mean, really, shouldn't it be pronounced that way? People are like, no, it's Arkansas. And you're like, all right, well, we're just gonna throw away letters already. Okay.
Yep. No, I would not say it down in Arkansas, but I think it's funny still.
Oh yeah.
Or like Minnesota. Like I got a buddy, one of my good friends is from Minnesota, so give him shit every so often.
Yep, that's my sister lives there, so that's really cool. I'm glad that we were able to get you on, man. I mean,
this was fun. I always get nervous doing these because I don't think I have enough shit to talk about for an hour, but then you can't shut me up usually. So
I'm glad you're at ease because that's the thing we're going for. There's nothing formal. It's like we tell people just be yourself because that's means more to me than some list outline thing. Make sure we hit all the talking points because
I hate that.
I had no idea we were going to talk about Bill Murray and the favorite movies tonight. But hey, so we did. That was good.
Yeah, no, it's a good podcast. I had listened to a few others of yours after Jamie Hernandez was on there. I'm friends with, so I was like, I went and checked it out and listened to some other ones, and then I bugged you and waited a little bit to hear back, and then we were good to go.
And such a and me being a jerk, not responding, just like completely just forgot it because it was one of those. It was in like the way Facebook Messenger works. It's either or. We've got our podcast side and then we got our personal side. And so I completely forgot to check the podcast side again. So here's this message that's just been sitting there in limbo for, I think a week and a half. And I finally respond to him and he's just like, oh, you do want me on the show? Yes. I'm sorry. I'm like,
question. It's like you got to request a message. I'm like, how? No, man, it's stupid.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I don't know how, I mean, like I said, I'm an author. I'm used to people saying, oh, I'm going to read your book. I'm like, no, you're not. You're probably not. It's okay. It's nice of you to say that. I can blow smoke up your ass too, but I'm not going to.
But I'll prove you wrong. Tonight I'm going to click order on that Orphans book, and it's going to be coming my way. So
Orphans is one of my favorites. So
so we definitely got it. I'm waiting on book 3 from a certain somebody there in the bottom square. She's finishing that up, so I still got to read.
I haven't even started. I've been podcasting all summer and
the Tapestry Worlds. I'm waiting for book 3, so I've got the book 1 and 2 done.
Yeah.
So it's the same way. So,
well, you could read my work for quite a bit until she gets book 3 written.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, and I that's a huge compliment. That you guys have been checking out the show. I really appreciate that because that means a lot to us.
Well, I have to do a shout out if you'll let me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
My best friend from high school and college is watching tonight, and she's never watched before. Her name is Jennifer Salmons, and she has made a couple of comments. So I wanted to say hey.
Well, Jennifer, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. And there it is. Yep. Yeah, Jennifer, that's means a lot that you check this out. Thanks. And then same way for you, Mike, if there's anybody that want to, your publisher, your editor, anybody, just please shout out, give them plugs.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't want any more work, but my editor, Elizabeth Robbins, is awesome. So she makes my writing look like I have skills in grammar. So that's always really nice. And I will say I love my 3 beta readers, Rosa,
Leslie and Karen, you guys are fucking awesome. So they, especially like if I get a book back late or something, or I'm running behind, and I'm like, is there any way you could put your life on hold for a day and beta read this and get it back to me? Because once I get it from them, I can get it, formatted pretty quick and whatnot. So it's a process, but I love my beta readers. If you are an aspiring author, don't take my beta readers, but you want to get some for sure. So
that's cool.
It's
that's
important.
Cool. Yeah,
it's really important. So
then, who's your publisher?
Amazon.
So that's
I'm a complete indie, with the exception of Zombies on the Block books 1 through 4. I signed with Tantor Audio, who put out. If you look them up, you'll be like, oh, these are all movies that I've seen at the fucking theater. Like, it's nuts, all the books that they've done. But they did the audio for me on that, and then all my other books are independently published for the Audible, or through all my audio books are independently published though. So, and it's not me reading it because nobody wants to listen to my voice for 8 hours. So
no, it's cool. I really appreciate you coming on, man. This has been a blast. I mean, it's like, if you're up for it, I mean, we'd love to have you on again.
Yeah, anytime.
All right.
I really did enjoy it.
Okay, good. Well, that's always the compliment. That's always what we're hoping for. It's like, it's the same thing. You always don't want the, oh yeah, I'll do it. Come on. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I'm busy.
Yeah, no. I would do more podcasts. I just don't ever remember to message people. So.
Or they just don't forget to message you back.
Yeah, sometimes. It's okay.
I'm willing to take the, that's just, that was. Oh, I felt so bad with that email to you too. I was just like, oh yeah, man, I'm so sorry. Just the mea culpa, email to.
Yeah, I'd say it's summer in Iowa, so I keep myself pretty busy, so it's not a big deal. So usually,
yeah. So everybody go to, there's Mike Evans author page, so at Mike Evans author. You can like that, follow him there on Facebook. Same way, Amazon, Mike Evans author. Hadley Thorne is on Weird Realities. Pretty much we just need your link tree just needs to be the Weird Empire.
It is. It is the Weird Empire.
Yeah, it is, because it is ever expanding. It seems like you guys are constantly coming out with new ideas, which is fantastic. I mean, you have so many shows coming on, so many things. I mean, it's you go over there, you've got tons of content to check out. I mean, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
And so while you're reading
podcast too,
Zombies on the Block and The Orphans, as soon as you take a break to get something, then you turn on the Weird Realities, and then if you got time left over, you watch us.
That's not true.
No, this is a solid podcast. You guys should get more people from the zombies. So,
well, yeah,
listeners will totally.
Yeah, if anybody, we'd love the subscribers. I mean, if everybody, YouTube subscribe, we got the page and the group, like and follow those. We would definitely appreciate that as well.
Should get a Tufo on. He's always entertaining. He has a way better accent than I do.
Yeah, who was that, by the way?
Mark Tufo.
Zombie
Fallout. You'll be like, oh, why did I have that hack Mike Evans on after you look up him?
Oh, Alan Gamboa. You need to get Alan Gamboa and good. Rich Restucci.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Rich is awesome.
Bailey Higgins. Also, she's from Horror Writers Inc.
South Africa. She's awesome too.
Is she from South Africa?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I thought she was from England. I don't know why. I've never heard her talk, so it doesn't help.
And she lives. She told me where, but yeah, she lives in South Africa. She used to live in Secunda, but she doesn't live there now. But we talked about that.
Yeah, I can't say that I know much about that.
I don't have an accent. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
And Jack, yeah, we had Jamie Hernandez. She actually graciously last minute jumped on to fill for Hadley, and we had a really good conversation. I want to have her back on when I can actually do her justice and actually be prepared, because that one was just, I felt so bad. I'm like looking up everything on the fly. I didn't even know anything really about her. And so
it sounded okay to me. I listened.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
Maybe want to contact you. So.
Yeah. Yeah. That was and that's a high praise. And I really appreciate that. That means a lot to us.
Yeah.
And so Chris apologizes, that he wasn't able to make it on, but with family. So, we'll have to have you and Hadley on when you can get the full Three Beards experience, since we keep you guys low dosed here, apparently.
Yeah. Just let me know when you want to do it. If you do it in September, October, I'll probably be, there'll be 4 beards.
Okay.
So
now it's 2.5. So
yep. So once we get into cooler motorcycle riding season, I'll have a beard.
You'll see. Chris is into bikes too, so you'll have lots to talk about there. That's me, and not so much.
Yeah, it's either love it or don't do it. And if you do it, then you love it.
Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time away from the family to come on the show, man.
Yeah. Seriously, I'll happily come back.
All right, absolutely. I'll get in touch with you. We'll, like I say, because you've got book 10 coming out here soon. So
yeah, I'll have book 10 of Zombies on the Block coming out, and then book 10 of Orphans coming out.
Okay,
and then probably Vacation from Hell 3. Can't guarantee that, but probably.
All right. Well, like I said, I've got an idea of what I'm bringing on. Like I said, we'll definitely have subject, and we'll do there. So, and then we'll see if see what we can get lined up and what your schedule's looking like. So we'll definitely be in touch on that. So,
awesome.
All right.
Thanks for letting me hang out. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Hadley, appreciate you. Do it. And I said, Mike, thanks again. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Thanks,
all right.
everyone.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. This episode was brought to you by Nanny Cakes. Nancy Burt. Go to Nanny Cakes 407 on Facebook. And Austin shaking his head again like I did something wrong. Yeah, 407-923-2898 is the phone number. Check. If mention Three Beards, you're going to save 15% off your cake order. Go to redbubble.com. Three Beards Podcast is our merchandise site. That's a way to support the show, along with patreon.com /Three Beards Podcast. Become a beardo. Adopt one of our homely, lonely beards. It helps us get the beard oil to keep these things, somewhat normal looking, not like we've got a wild animal on our face like Austin over there.
Hey.
Yeah. So just say it if you're paying attention. All right. We're rebroadcast every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Courtesy of Patriot Radio. Download the Xeno Radio app. J&J Beard Company puts us on there. Go to jjbeardco.com. Thank them for doing that. Everybody, I want to thank you so much for watching. This was an amazing show. I said all new faces, new comments. That was fantastic. Just appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe. See some of the next shows. We'll be back next week. We're going to have Anne and Renata from Australia. They're the paranormal queens of the paranormal. They're a lot of fun. So if you haven't watched them before, definitely check them out and come on, and we'll be there. So everybody, thanks again. Appreciate Hadley, Mike. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night.